Hey, Bill, check, check.
Test, test, test. Can you hear me?
Yeah, perfect. All right, see you in 10 minutes. All right. Hello, everybody. This is Lucia Weaver.
Hey guys, it's Cuckoo Puffs.
So we are here today with Hunter's Lodge number 10. Fantastic. And we have lots of stuff to talk about to you guys today. Some really exciting stuff as well. So as soon as Cuckoo Puffs fixes his wall,
I just like green screen thing, but it's apparently like not angled correctly. Anyway,
we'll
whatever.
dive right in it. It's like
See
you have
the,
a portal behind you. It's all good.
my window.
Okay, so this is our agenda for today. Hunter's Lodge 10. We'll talk about more gift card partners that we have lined up. We'll give a bunch of Cubieverse updates on the leaderboards, yellow ball changes, how we're going to level up your Cubies, how we're going to do buddy quests in the Cubieverse. And we'll have some current world updates about nudging your green user vaults, a last chance to claim some green user vaults, and shop week. Then we're going to talk about the beta status and the status of the development of Cubieverse, and we will have a Q&A. For the Q&A, you will have a QR code to scan where you can send in your questions like we usually do. So be ready for that code at the end of this presentation. So let's just start with the UK. So for the UK, we already announced that we have the gift card partner for the pizzeria structure, which is Pizza Hut. So just a little recap how this thing's going to work. Players in the UK will be able to build a Pizza Hut pizzeria structure on top of Pizza Hut tags. These tags will be preceded by us, so as soon as Cubieverse opens, you will be able to just go to a nearby Pizza Hut and start the building process towards a Pizza Hut structure. Then once the structure goes live, these types of structures, they do two things. The first will offer a pizza quest, which is very similar to the sushi quest, where you can get, very specific resources and a QB related to a pizzeria structure. Unannounced at this point, but we're working on it. And then the second thing you can do in these structures is you will be able to convert Cubie coins into gift cards. And of course, since it's a Pizza Hut you're standing inside, and you can convert your Cubie coins into a Pizza Hut gift card. So that's how this thing's going to work. So we already announced Pizza Hut. Today we are proud to announce a couple of other pizzeria brands that we will be able to do the same with for the UK. So for the UK, we are adding Pizza Express, Prezzo. I think Pizza Express and Prezzo are probably the big ones. Those you can find everywhere in the UK, as far as I know. Remembering from my time when I spent there, that was literally almost on every corner you find one of these two. Bella Italia and Stonehouse. So those are going to be added to the UK. Now let's talk about the USA. So with the USA, we already announced that we were going to have the California Pizza Kitchen structure, where you can, get California Pizza Kitchen gift cards. But we are also adding a bunch of other pizza brands to the mix, which is we are adding Domino's, Uno, and Bertucci's. And this is just what we're going to have now. We'll keep adding more over time, obviously. Okay, what else? Let's talk about the new structure that is going to be able to be built in the USA. A new structure is a target. You will be able to build a target on top of a target tag, obviously. But what will this structure do? It will do two things. The first part of it will act as an advanced print job, right? I think we explained what that does in the previous Hunter's Lodge. And with the addition of also a secondary feature these target structures will have is you will be able to convert Cubie coins to target gift cards. Okay. All right. Let's take a look at Canada. For Canada, we are able to have a new gift card structure, which is a Tim Hortons. So you'll be able to build that on top of any Tim Horton tag, and at the level 1, it will offer only one functionality, which will be exchange Cubie coins to Tim Horton gift cards. Then the goal is to be able to level up these structures, and then at higher level, it will unlock additional features, one of the additional features that a coffee shop will have, which is something we announced, I believe, in Hunters World 7, is coffee shops will be able to sell consumables to players that give them temporary buffs. So that's like the roadmap in leveling up your structure. But at level 1, you will be able, in Canada at least, to build Tim Hortons on every Tim Horton in real life, and that will be a place where people can go and turn some of their well-earned Cubie coins into a juicy mocha or something. Okay, right. El Salvador, Philippines, Malaysia. So we are still working there to lining up gift card partners. So nothing to announce yet, but in the meantime, don't forget El Salvador, Philippines, and Malaysia will have 2 other export options. They will be able to export their Cubie coins to Crystal Keys via the vending machine. They will be able to export their Cubie coins to crypto using the CETs, the crypto exchange terminals. But yeah, we're still working on the gift cards angle for these countries. All right, let's talk about the leaderboards. First of all, we will start with fresh leaderboards in Cubieverse. Cubieverse is not Coined World, it's a new world. So we have to start with fresh leaderboards. However, what we want to do is we want to how do you say it? Like we want to keep the memory of the players who really reached really high positions in leaderboards in Coined World. So the way we're going to do this, we're going to create some sort. Think of it like a huge structure, like Resort World in Vegas, but it's more like a museum that has all sorts of statues for all the different achievements that players did in the history of Cubieverse, including Coined World. So there might be a statue that will show like the best, the top trivia players from Coined World, things like that. So every time we do an event, that museum will be deployed there, and people will be able to go through all these structures and look at all the names on them. So it's a convoluted story to just say that your names will be written into history inside the game if you reach certain high positions on the all-time leaderboards of Coined World. Yeah. Bottom line is Cubieverse starts with fresh new leaderboards. And how will they work? There will be 3 types of leaderboards. So first we have the hunter leaderboard, which is the one we know today. So how do you climb the hunting leaderboards? You do that by hunting, obviously, which means solving vaults, doing body quests, completing monuments. Those are things that give you hunter points. Then we'll have a builder leaderboard. How do you climb that? By building. So by building structure, but also by donating resin to building projects and by helping other players building projects. And then we'll also have an explorer leaderboard. You get points for that by exploring, which means solving new yellow vaults, completing monuments. And the exploring leaderboard is going to be unfinished, so we will have some future unannounced stuff that will allow you to get serious points for the explorer leaderboard. Let's take a look at like a little grid that explains what you can do where. So as we already know, like today, if you do the hunter leaderboard, the hunter leaderboards are available in global, country, and local areas. They have also 2 time scale. They have an all-time and a monthly, and the rewards are keys for the monthly. So that's going to say the same for Cubieverse. Then we'll have the builder leaderboards, which is identical. So they will also have global, country, local, all-time, and monthly, and the rewards will be also keys. Plus, the number 1 player each month will receive an Epic Cubie blueprint, which doesn't exist yet. So there are no an Epic Cubie blueprint of the class builder, obviously. So there are no Epic builder Cubies yet, but starting with the first month in Cubieverse, whoever is number 1 at the end of the month receives a blueprint of this new Epic builder Cubie. And then for the Explorer leaderboards, for the beginning, like I said, because this is unfinished and not all the systems are in place yet, we will only have a global all-time for the Explorer for now, and no rewards yet until we work that out further. But this is how we're going to start. All right, let's talk a little bit about yellow vaults. So There's a lot of stuff we really like about yellow vaults, and there's a lot of stuff that we feel needs changing. What we really like is that yellow vaults promote exploration. You know, every time we see a message for somebody who planned a city trip so they can hit a bunch of yellow vaults, or even a road trip throughout their entire country, try to hit all the yellow vaults. That is absolutely fantastic. So we don't want to make any changes that make it harder to do this, right? But on the flip side of things, some hunters living in a city where they have like 3-4 yellow vaults gives them a much too powerful advantage over other players. So we want to tune down that advantage without sacrificing the first thing that we do like. And how we're going to do this is like this. What we're going to do is, first of all, all the yellow vaults were built in Hornet World, but they have not been built yet in Cubieverse. So all the yellow vaults will be reset to cranes. And crane's going to need a little bit more than a million resin. In Cubieverse, you will need 10 million resin. Plus, a big change here, each player can only add a maximum of 10 pucks of resin. So a lot of players gave feedback to us that what they didn't like is that some big resin whale just comes along and just fills the entire crane by themselves in 20 minutes and it's off. So this will allow for a little bit more collaboration and in all countries. Of course, if you add resin to a crane, you should get builder points, so that's going to be changed as well. And then when the build completes, everybody who at least put in one resin puck in the crane will get shipped a new builder class Cubie, but a common one. So there's going to be a new common builder Cubie as well. So very easy to obtain. If you see a crane, drop in a resin puck and you'll get it. All right. The yellow vault respawn timer has been moved to 1 month. And then when you solve the new yellow vault for the first time, and this is important, only the first time you will get a large amount of explorer points. And then you also get double the 100 points. But every consecutive time you solve it down, it's just going to be the regular 100 points and no more explorer points. You already explored it, you can't explore it twice. I think this makes a lot of sense. Right, so obviously we want to make it still very attractive to go and hit yellow vaults. So even with the reduced respawn timer, there's still a lot of rewards to be had. So when it's a crane stage, you will get builder points and a Cubie blueprint from participating in the construction. When it's in the yellow vault stage, you will get 100 points, you will get explorer points, you will get Cubie coins, you have a chance for the RNG Cubie blueprint, you will have guaranteed country stamps, and you will have a resource crate. A resource crate is like a resource box, but with much more resources inside. So it's definitely worthwhile hitting yellow vaults if you can. Okay, now let's talk about how are we going to level up your Cubies in the Cubieverse. We have to make a distinction first between two things, Cubie level and account level. So the Cubie level is all the experience points that you funnel into a specific Cubie. So whatever you have equipped, if you equip the summer Cubie and you go on a hunt, all the experience points you get from that hunt are all funneled into the summer Cubie just equipped. So that's how you make it go leveled up. But all the same experience point you're funneling to each Cubie, the cumulative of all those experience points all go to your account level. So while you're swapping out different Cubies and leveling different Cubies, your account level will always go up as long as you keep playing. It will go up and up and up. So the more you play, the stronger you get. Some things will be gated behind an account level. Okay, so how do you earn experience points? Well, earning experience point is tied to one thing that nobody can cheat, which is time, right? That's why solving a yellow vault or a white vault is the same amount of experience points because they both take a minute or less. However, doing a buddy quest, we know that takes a lot more time. So buddy quest will get you more experience points. We know exactly how much time it takes to do a sushi quest or a pizza quest. That's 45 minutes. So it will give you a bigger chunk of experience points. And we definitely know that it takes a lot of time to complete Monument. So Monument can give you a real big chunk of experience points. So now we're introducing a whole different layer of strategy to the game here because you will have to choose before you do a pizza quest okay, I'm gonna about to get a chunk of experience points. To what Cubie do I want to funnel this experience point into? You can't do a sushi quest with 5 Cubies at the same time. Okay, let's talk about buddy quests. So here's an example of some things that will only unlock after you reach a certain account level. So buddy quests will unlock when you reach account level 5. So new players, they already have so many things going on in the game, they shouldn't be worried too much about buddy quests in the beginning. So let them just acclimate to the game first, and buddy quests will unlock at level 5. Then the reward is reduced since pretty much all the other systems are reduced as well in Qubieverse. We think the players are going to be much more enjoying 5 greens versus a yellow in the new world. So the reward is reduced to 5 greens. But all the friends list will be reset, so you will be able to redo all your buddy quests with your favorite friends. I saw a screenshot in Discord of a double Missy buddy quest, and I thought that was pretty spectacular, so I put it in there. Probably it doesn't happen a lot if you have double. Maybe should get some kind of bonus if you do that. Double Missy BQ. Okay, here we go. Green user vault in Covenant World, right? We got a lot of requests from players who purchased the green user vault if they would be able to move it a little bit or nudge it. So we are now able to do that. So if you want to move your green user vault, submit the ticket. However, we are talking about nudging, not moving to the other side of the city. So this is in situations, for example, let's say there's a park in your city. In the middle of the park is a beautiful pagoda. Your green user vault is on a random corner of the park, and it would have been so much better if it was smack on top of the pagoda. That's a reason to make a ticket like this. We can move it to make it, fit the actual best POI in that area better. Don't use it if you have if you want to move it to the other side of the city. That's not going to work. All right, that brings us to our last chance. We are almost at a maximum of 500 green user votes per country. So I think it's now 400. So tomorrow at the reset time, we will increase it one final time to 500. And so that's going to be a last chance to get the green user votes cemented in Qubieverse as we open up the doors. Now, keep in mind, eventually, we will have a system where players can request new green user votes in Qubieverse, but I'm not sure when that's going to be ready. Okay. All right, let's talk about Covenant World stuff now. We're going to try something new, something we haven't done ever. So let's see what happens. We're going to have a shop week starting tomorrow. And what that means is every day we're going to put one blueprint that we still have inventory for in the shop. So on Monday, we'll be able to get the cats, etc., etc. So every day, a new one will be in the shop. So if you haven't gotten some of these yet, this is your chance to claim what you missed. If you already have all of them, this is pretty much a no deal for you, but there are plenty of new players who didn't have the chance to get any of these, so you will be able to grab them next week, starting Monday at reset time. Bill, how many of these do you have?
I have like 3 tikis, I think, and probably like 2 cats.
Okay. but you don't have a Missy, I guess.
I don't. Well, I mean, it's not just that I have those blueprints, but I haven't even printed them. So I don't think I've printed a single tiki or cat yet.
Probably you're waiting for a leaderboard run. That's why.
Yeah, I'm waiting for the Qubieverse and my leaderboard run of common prints.
Okay, awesome. All right, that's it. We are launching Qubieverse September 20. That's our goal. I'm hoping we don't miss it. If so far the beta is going smooth, that's our target. We are working our asses off, really working really hard to make this happen. So that's our target. So Qubieverse It's going to open its doors September 20. However, of course, it's going to be open beta, but it will have a persistent world. So everything that you do when the doors open will be permanent. All the stuff you receive will be permanent. All the buildings you build will all be permanent. But it's not going to be perfect yet. So there's going to be some missing features here and there, but that will all be filled in the weeks after launch. But there will be enough stuff to start the building process and start going and start building up all the different structures in the Cubieverse. And it will be accessible to everybody in USA, Canada, UK, as well as the Philippines and Malaysia. And we will have the full details about the launch in the next Hunter's Lodge, where we will exactly say what is going to be in it at the launch date and how the process of migrating from Conant World to the Cubieverse will work, and a whole bunch of surprises that we kept for last that will all be in the next Hunter's Lodge. So that's super exciting. That's close. That's very close. So let's keep working towards that goal. So as I said, the next Hunter's Lodge 11, will be on Sunday, September 3rd, same time. And then that's it for this Hunter's Lodge. So send your QA questions to us, and we'll be selecting a bunch of them to answer after a 10-minute break, 15-minute break. Okay, guys, I'll see you all soon. And we are back, I think.
Okay. Ready to start?
Yes.
Okay. A quick reminder to everyone listening. Please don't forget to put on your builder QBs and keep them on until past 12 p.m. Pacific time, as you will receive a contest box for doing so. And we'll start with the first question from Agent Dark. You mentioned 10 million resin to complete a yellow vault, but each player can put in 10 pucks. How much is each puck worth in the QB-verse?
So for yellow vault cranes, each pack would be 100,000 resin.
Excellent. Next question is from L. Will there be a fee to transfer Cubie coins into Target gift cards?
Yes, there will be a fee to use any structures, but those keys. So for a target gift card, I think it would be a green key, if I'm correct.
Okay. And next question is from Raichu. Will GUVs require staffing with QBs in the QBverse?
Yes, eventually they will. So we didn't want to wait. So when the Cubiverse launches, all the green user roles that have been claimed in Coin World, they will be live and operating. But eventually there will be a patch where we say to these people, okay, now you need to go and actually put the QB in there. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. Next question is from Trugoy. Will the Domino's Pizza Quest require 45 minutes in the carry-out only chain?
Yeah, so yeah, so obviously some of these places are not sit-down restaurants. So if it's not a sit-down restaurant, then the time will be adjusted, but the rewards will be adjusted as well.
Thank you. And from Adhu9, will we be able to build more than one of a structure? For example, build 3 Tim Hortons in different locations?
Yeah, so each structure will have a maximum cap you can build them at. So, for example, I don't know what it is for coffee shops, but let's say it's 3 coffee shops. That means you will be able to own 3 coffee shops wherever you want, any place where it's eligible to build one.
Thank you. Our next question is from Ben. With the targeted launch on September the 20th, would the September Adventure Road be abbreviated or will it continue into the launch of Cubieverse?
We will probably speed up everybody so everybody finishes by September 20th. So it's going to be an easy month to finish. And then we start, and then adventure road, the first adventure road that will be full Cubiverse will be the October one.
That's fantastic news. Next question is from John A. Will the Tim Hortons gift cards only be available in Canada or can we get them from USA locations?
For now, it's just Canada, but yeah, like I said, we're always going to be working and trying to get more gift card partners lined up in different countries. So if there is demand for Tim Hortons in USA, then we can definitely take a look at that.
The next question is from Kalashmir. You mentioned yellow vaults would be more fair since big cities have a lot of them. I feel like nothing changed. You just reset them and made them 10 million resin. I thought adding more yellow vaults would be more fair. How is this more fair?
Okay, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, so the question is how is it more fair to reset the yellow vaults and make them 10 million resin?
Well, if it's a reset, it's a reset for everybody. Nobody has an advantage on a reset fault. So everybody gets to build it again. Then if you add the cap of 10, maximum 10 bucks, more people will get to enjoy participating in the build. More people will get their hands on the QB. And the heavy impact of being able to hit 4 yellow vaults in your city every week is now reduced to you can only do them once a month. So that's a massive reduction in advantage that the city has multiple yellow vaults.
Thank you. Our next question is from Core Lithial. Double checking. Will only the top builder leaderboard player each month get the epic builder blueprint, or is it going to be the top 5?
It's only be the top,
Okay,
number one.
thank you.
Right.
The next
Hey,
question
sorry.
is, oh, go ahead.
Just we're, we're open to adding more yellow vaults. So
Oh yeah.
I definitely have a goal of at least one per state. So we definitely will be adding more yellow vaults.
Okay, that's fantastic news.
Yes.
Our next question is from Rubix. Will the 2-month land reservation start at the Qbiverse open beta, or will inactive player user vaults be purged at all?
No, so as soon as the open beta starts, which is the actual opening of the permanent, land of the Cubiverse, that's when the 2-month period starts. And yeah, what was the second part of the question?
Will inactive player user vaults be purged?
Inactive player user vaults in Covenant World will turn into system vaults in Cubiverse.
All right.
So you can still hit something there, even if it comes from an inactive player.
That's awesome. We have a question from Jybone. Will the new yellow vaults that are being rebuilt be in the same location? Or sorry, let me rephrase that. Will the new yellow vaults that are being rebuilt in the same locations have the same first question?
Probably not. We have some issues scaling that, and it's a little bit of a mess. So probably it will be a random yellow tier question.
Thank you. Our next question is from Despair. We currently receive 1 leaderboard point when another player solves our vault. Is that point going to be on the hunter board or the builder board when we move to the Cubiverse?
That's a good question. That will be a builder point because you can't get hunter points by sitting on your ass in the sofa. That's not very hunter-like. But you did build the vaults that everybody else is hitting, so that's why you can get builder points when somebody hits your structure.
Okay. Our next question is, will Coin Hunt World keep working during the Cubiverse open beta? How will that work considering different respawn times and vault distributions?
Like all the details about how the time in between both for the games will work, all the details, the transition period, that will all be detailed in the next 100 watch. It will be like, we will try to make a very clear plan with dates, what is going to happen on what date, etc., etc.
Thank you. Our next question is from Marvin's Mama. Considering the reduced amount of high-tier keys we will be collecting, will event quest chains be reworked to accommodate the new key values?
Yes, there is some changes to that, and I hope you guys will like it.
Thank you. Our next question is from Psycho808. With the leaderboard reset, will my ability to print QBs also reset? For example, will I get a leaderboard point, or will I get leaderboard points in the QBverse for prints that I have printed in Coin Hunt World already?
No, if you printed something in Coinage World, you already printed it. You can't do another first print in Cubiverse. That would be total chaos.
Okay, thank you.
Well, hold on. I think we should discuss. I think Jeroen and I will discuss this because
Okay.
I actually think we might want to reset that as well and let people do first prints again. But we'll take it offline. We'll talk about it.
Okay.
Well, that was a little bit more fun. Our next question is from Mammoet. What is the best way to request the addition of newly constructed businesses on the map? For example, if a new Target or coffee shop is opening.
Yeah, so just open a support ticket. That would be an easy way to do. However, like long term, we are investigating into a pathway to do that. Let's say a new target just gets built and it's not on our maps yet. We will want to have some kind of procedure, some kind of pipeline where you can just go through it and say, hey, this is what's, and then eventually it should end up in the game. So yeah, we're thinking about that, but we can't announce any details yet.
Wait, didn't you just describe tagging?
Yeah, user tagging, you mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be one way, but we're actually with our pre-seeded tagging, we're seeing that we might not even need user tagging that much because we just had a massive breakthrough in the amount of tags we can find. So it might not be an issue. Anyway, it will be solved in one way or the other. Anyway, so it's going to be a non-issue. If you have a new target there, you want it there, we'll make sure you can build it there. Just the exact way how, we don't know yet.
Okay. Our next question is, will it still cost new players 1 yellow key to unlock the auction house?
It will probably be reduced to a green key, but it will be unlocking an auction house will also require a certain a certain account level.
Okay. Our next question is, since the monuments can only be completed one time, will people get something in the Cubieverse for monuments they completed in Coin Hunt World? Example, Las Vegas or Hawaii volcano quests.
Yeah, so the few people who either finished the Vegas quest or the Hawaii monument, if you completed the monument in Conant World, you will get the points in Cubiverse for it. So we'll have to come up with a system in how that works. So you can choose towards what Cubie the points will go. But since we don't want these people to climb the volcano twice, we are going to have to retroactively give those points out. There are only two monuments in the game, so if you already done them, you should get the achievement credits for that in the Cubiverse.
Our next question is from Guinea Pig Fund. For the hunters who have completed the monument quest, do we get to do the quest again?
No, if you've done it, you've done it.
Our next question is, with the launch on September the 20th, will the adventure road still continue in the Cubieverse, especially for those who have been collecting the horoscope cubies?
Yes, I think I explained that in the first question, right? So it will continue, but let's say Cubiverse Conant World goes down a couple of days before we open Cubiverse. All the days you are missing on the Adventure Road, we will just give everybody full points for those days, so you're not missing out on anything.
Our next question is, can we travel to other cities to put resin in yellow cranes?
Yeah, no problem. There's no restriction.
And then from Tuma, we have a question. Will inactive accounts have their user vaults wiped before we transition to the Cubieverse?
Yeah.
What, sorry?
Inactive
Oh, yeah.
users, yes.
But just to extend that to a question that people will be wondering about, they will become system vaults, as
Yes.
Ocean Weaver mentioned previously.
Yeah. Their vaults will become system vaults, but they won't own the real estate or get that 2-month halo.
Yeah.
Okay. From Despair, more on the yellow vault, Phil. We answered this question already, Despair, so I'm actually going to move on to the next question. From Braden, is the goal for the Cubieverse to make it look similar to the real world?
Well, similar in a way that you see a target in the Cubiverse and you see a target in real life, but that's the similarity that we want, right? It's like a virtual world. It's a metaverse, but it's actually connected to the real world, which is one of the strong points of the Cubiverse compared to like the Decentraland or Sandbox and all these virtual things where it's just infinite real estate space. Here we're actually totally finite because we're sitting on planet Earth, right? So yes.
We have another question. When will we have the ability to change our usernames in game?
I can't say when, but I think eventually you should be able to do that for a fee. Go to like a certain structure where there's like a little accountant guy, and he can do stuff like that for you for a key fee.
We have a question from Vancouver Geek. Will yellow cranes appear in the same location that they are yellow vaults now?
Yes.
And we have a question. Can you put a buy it now option in the auction house?
Well, I did say some things will be gated behind the account level, right? So let's just leave it at that.
And we have a question from Spectre996. Any chance we can revamp the key forge, like being able to select wanting 5 green keys and swiping up 50 blue keys instead of having to do 5 separate green key transactions?
Yeah, we're calling this internally the Giga Forge, and the plan right now is to make that one of the features you unlock when you get to HQ level 6.
Okay. And from Stiven RP, are there going to be more than one buddy quest reset? I think he means how many times can you do a buddy quest with the same person in the Cubieverse?
Oh, that's going to be the same like it was in Cornet World. It's just like all the people that you already did a buddy quest with, those are going to be reset so you can do it again. Just so you can be paired up with all the different people again.
Oh, I see. Okay, thank you. And from Gothic Jim, Is there a maximum distance on the green vault nudge? I live in a small town with only one green. My ideal location is about 400 meters away. Is that too far?
I don't think it's too far. So just make a case to the devs. So make an in-game ticket, explain your case and why you want it, why you think it's a better space over there. If they agree with you, they will move it. But 500 meters, I don't think that's too far. But miles, that's a different story.
I feel like that's pretty far, but maybe for this one guy, we can do an exception. That's not a nudge, right? Like,
Yeah, it's a big nudge.
400 meters is pretty far.
Our next question is, can you build things close together? For example, if multiple businesses are close together, or are the builds limited to a 50-meter UV radius that we have now?
There's definitely going to be a radius because we need to two things. First of all, if you start building too close to each other, the actual 3D objects are going to be colliding each other, and that looks very horrible. So we don't want that. So there needs to be a buffer between building. And another thing is we want to start with a lower density because it's easier to allow in the future. Let's allow to increase the density a little more than do the opposite. If we have to claw back territory and we have to kick people out of their structures, that's way more dramatic than doing the opposite. So in the beginning, we're going to have some nice buffers in place, allow you guys to build, and then from that data we can see if we will be able to move them closer, and then we will allow closer builds. But to understand how the system works is we kind of know how big all the structures are in game. So things that are small, like for example, a crypto export terminal is literally just like a little terminal. So that's way smaller than an entire Pizza Hut structure. So, with these ranges, it will be easier to put two small objects closer together than two large objects.
I think the aspirational goal here, and it's highly dependent on the fidelity of GPS, but the aspirational goal here is that if you see structures clustered together in the real world, we want to be able to mirror that in the Cubieverse. And that's because, these businesses spend a lot of time figuring out the optimal placement of their locations. We'd like to mirror that as much as possible.
Okay, our last question is, has the closed beta started? And I'm actually going to use that to prompt you to talk about phases of the beta and what we mean by open or closed beta and how many waves of the closed beta you expect.
Okay, I should have had a slide on that. I think I had, and I think I accidentally deleted it. But yeah, let me give you an update on the beta. The beta is going really well. We are just finishing wave number 2. Wave 1 and 2 have been laser focused on the whole building system, which is the biggest addition to the game we've made. So that's why we wanted to get that out of the way first. And as of last week, everybody's building very smoothly. All the big bugs are ironed out, so the building system is absolutely working and ready to rock and roll. So that is awesome. So wave 3 is going to happen in 2 weeks-ish. So let's say mid-August. At that point, we will invite a bunch more people. So right now, I think we're below about maybe maximum 50 testers. With wave 3, we're probably going to be going to like a 250, 300 amount of testers. And then after wave 3, mid-August, we will have a wave 4 early September, and that will be the last wave of closed beta testing before we open up to everybody and launch Cubieverse on September 20th. I hope that was more clear.
Right, and to provide a little bit more clarity here, every wave people are testing a targeted feature. So we tweak the accounts, we give them enough resources to do whatever it is that we want them to test, and all the work that's been done by players in the closed beta will get wiped before we go into the open beta. So there's no advantage for somebody to build a monument today, drop 10 million resin into it. There's all of that, if it's tested, will get wiped before we get to the open beta. But the testers who've been really amazing are just focused on very, very targeted features and scenarios that we're asking them to look at right now.
And that was the end of our questions. Any last remarks?
No, it's great. So the next Hunter's Lodge 11 is going to be a really big one. If you liked some of the things you saw today, then definitely tune in to the next one. That's going to have a lot of juicy details about how the actual launch is going to happen, what will be in the launch, what we'll be able to build, etc. All right, thanks everybody. I'll see you on the next one.
All right. Thank you.
Bye everybody.